Hey, welcome back. I'm Chris Chase with the Western Flyer Foundation. In this video, we're going to travel to Eastern Kentucky, where we're going to horse log white oak off of the Berea College campus. We're going to mill it into the rough stock, put it in a container, and ship it to Port Townsend, where the crew here at the Shipwrights Co-op will actually dress it down to the finished thickness and length, and they'll start steam bending it into the boat. But before I get off to Kentucky, let's take a trip around the boat and see what's different. The Flyer got moved into the middle of the shop last week. We're in preparation for steam bending frames on both sides at the same time. Pete Stein and Paul Stauffer have finished all those sawn frames in the stern, while Pete Rust and Brad Siemens have finished the temporary mold stations and stabilizing the bow of the boat for the steam bending process. Tim Lee, Lachlan, and Ryan have actually milled out all of the oak that I brought back from Kentucky, and they've started to steam bend some of it into the boat. When I first came to Kentucky last November, I thought we'd be looking for pasture trees. Big trees just like that one there. You know, 36 inches, 48 inches, 50 inches in diameter at the butt. They would produce just these beautiful timbers. They'd be easy to find, right? They'd be in every field. But I was totally wrong. That tree would produce unbelievable kitchen tabletops, about 6 to 8 feet long, but that's about it. The tree we actually needed would be a tree that grew inside of a mature canopy, a forest that was well established. That young tree would come out of the ground, it would shoot for the daylight, and it wouldn't produce branches down low. We would get long, clear sections of timber. We ended up finding that wood on the campus of Berea College, where they've been maintaining their forest surrounding the college, almost 9,000 acres, for nearly 150 years. Those trees had just the right conditions. That canopy existed, and when 140 years ago they sprouted out of the ground, they shot for the daylight, and they produced those nice, long, clear 18-foot butt logs that were only about 26 inches in diameter, but they sure produced the lumber we needed for the Flyer.
I won't call it a 25, it's going to average out that way. See there?
The forestry department at Berea College doesn't horse log because it's nostalgic. It's the best way to move through a forest environment. They're able to go into a forest, identify a mature tree for harvest, cut that tree down, and then extract it out of the forest while doing minimal damage to the surrounding ecosystem. That's the tree right there. The very one. Pretty nice to me.
Did you pick that one out with him?
I've never been here before in my life.
Oh, okay. I thought you.
What do you think I know about trees? I know a lot about wood, nothing about trees.
You see them forks?
Yeah.
I want them forks to lay down like that. Because if I cut that tree that way, they'll scissor and bust.
Right, especially if it hits that stump, right?
9,000 acres might sound like a lot of forest, but across that total acreage, there were probably less than 100 trees that would yield the size and quality needed for the steam-bent frames in the Flyer. In the end, we ended up harvesting 14 trees out of the Berea forest. Yeah.
Try to get as close as you can because it's hard to get backed up on these hills.
Yep.
Back. Back. Ooh. Come up. If I could get a chain under it, I would prefer to. Chain just gets me. I can get closer to it. The closer you can get to it, the more suspension and the easier it is.
Western Flyer Foundation is honored to have worked with Berea College on this project. The Forestry Department at Berea College has been entrusted with one of the great forests on the East Coast, and their ongoing commitment to sustainable forest stewardship will ensure its survival for future generations. It's a wonderful thought to think some of their hard work will be part of the Western Flyer history forever.
Another team. We'll actually put 4 horses on this. Most of these logs we've took out 4 horses just to make it easier on the horses. Well, we're not done yet, but so far I think we've done, let's see, just about 9 so far. Because we only get 1 log out of each tree. There's 4 or 5 more logs beyond the ship log, but there's only 1 good clear 19-foot log. So it takes quite a few trees to get enough to do what they're needing, and there's just not that many big white oaks like that left because people have been so hard on the forest. You go in high grade and take all the good young trees, and then they don't live to maturity. They don't live to get this big. So there's very few places left in the United States where you can find this quality of timber.
And that's the way me and Ben are. You know, I'd love to be teaching somebody else how to do this and what I know about it and pass it on. 'Cause it's a lost art.
Once the trees were taken out of the forest, they were loaded on trucks and moved to Baghdad, Kentucky, where they were milled into the rough stock that would be shipped to Port Townsend. I'm in Shelby County, Kentucky, where after a long week of milling in the wind and the rain, we finally got all that wood from Berea College milled into the rough stock for the reframing on the Flyer. They're 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 by 18 feet. There's about 25,000 pounds or 160 pieces of wood in the container. And it's on its way to Port Townsend, leaving today. Should be there by the middle of next week.
Load this thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
How old are you again, Lachlan?
Oh, I'm 21.
How long have you been doing boat building?
2.5 years, maybe?
How'd you get into it?
Oh, went to the boat school.
What boat school?
The Northwest School of Wooden Boat Building down here in Port Hadlock.
Are you going to be on the list? The finished frames are essentially a 3x4, and they're steaming them for 2.5 hours each. It takes 8 to 10 minutes from steam box to permanently bent in place, and they're getting about 8 to 12 frames done a day. At this rate, they'll be done by the 1st of August.
But it's easy to convince somebody that something is good that you honestly believe in yourself. You know, it's hard to sell something you don't like.
And thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I really enjoy making the videos and sharing the project. And if you enjoy watching them, why don't you consider subscribing? And if you're looking for daily updates in between each video, I'll put some links in the description box to our website, our Instagram account, and then my own personal Instagram account, Chase Boat Builder. Hey, thanks again for watching. I'm trying to tell a story to our fan club here. To find those trees, we went to Berea College, where they've been maintaining a forest for about... Really? You want to be on camera? Really? You really want to be a star?